Hey, Tracy Nelson here with Creation Adventures and Outdoor Education. And today I've carried you on a ginseng hunt. And my purpose here is not to just show me digging some ginseng, because that's no big deal. But you might be one of those people that are getting into trying to find some ginseng because it has a lot of medicinal values, and you want to tap into that as a natural way to get some good vitamins and minerals and things that'll help with maintain your body. All right. So there again, if you look at me, I'm on a pretty steep slope. You see behind me. Okay, pan around a little bit and see. I'm in a really dark, steep hollow where a lot of sunlight doesn't make it down here. You see patches of sunlight, but we would call this a very closed canopy forest. A lot of big trees, and that way is going to be west, and that way is going to be north. And so this is kind of the way where you start looking for ginseng on these northwest slopes. And look, right here at my feet is a huge ginseng plant, several plants together right here. It's got some green berries on it. Okay, that's a good sized plant. And like I said, there's a ginseng plant, a small immature ginseng. I wouldn't dig that one. Ginseng tends to grow in a colony. Okay, so I don't go very far, and then I get right over here and I see here's ginseng with the berries are starting to turn red. A ginseng plant behind it. There's a ginseng. Right here, ginseng with some red berries. There's a ginseng over there. Okay. Don't have to move very far. Here's a ginseng. There's one. That's a small one. There's another small one. Well, there's one right there. And there's one right there. So this is a pretty good colony of ginseng. And the reason I show you that is if people have the wrong attitude, I'm not digging ginseng to make money. I've never sold any. I don't plan on selling any. I dig it for my own personal use, okay? Because it has a lot of health benefits. But if somebody was greedy, they'd dig every plant in here today. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to dig a few plants. I'm going to leave plenty of, for the future, okay? Because I don't want to exhaust my resources for the next year, or for anybody else that comes along. I want there to be some ginseng in here for people that need it. They may need the medicinal values of the ginseng. We don't want to, rape and pillage. We want to practice conservation. Remember, we're caretakers. God gave us the dominion mandate, and that was to take care of His creation, which means we can use it, but not abuse it. Use it for God's glory and for human benefit. In other words, I can share this with people, which I have. People that might be lacking energy and give them some energy, or other things. So anyway, keep that in mind if you decide to dig some ginseng. That's a pretty good sized plant, and I'm just going to dig a few roots out of it. And that's a pretty decent sized root. When you get those that are split like that, looks like a little man. Those are pretty decent size. There's a pretty decent sized one there. What I do with the berries, because this is what's going to happen to them anyway, they're supposed to go through a process before they'll germinate. And so I just throw them out on the ground, and the rains and stuff will take care of them. Or sometimes deer or turkeys will eat them and poop them out, and they'll still germinate. There's another. I thought I'd kind of show you. I'm on this hunt for ginseng, and to show you the kind of environment, the kind of habitat where I find ginseng. Because what I found out about ginseng, it's very site specific. You can see it's straight up that hill. See the rock bluffs there? So I'm on I don't know what the degree slope is. It's steep. And I want to show you, I'm on the direction as you're looking in now is west. And so that would be north. So you could say I'm on a northwest slope. And what I have found about ginseng is I hardly ever find it on the east or southern slope. Eastern or southern slope. So here, show you some companion plants. When I find ginseng, I usually find this plant. That is called wild yam. Wild yam, which it is a medicinal plant, by the way. I've never used it, but it has, you can look it up, it has a lot of uses. A lot of different uses. And then this plant here is turning yellow. This is cohosh. And cohosh also has some additional uses. But I haven't used cohosh. You can buy cohosh and wild yam, I believe, in the herb stores that have been put in capsules. But here again, I haven't used those. Of course, you see what's already fallen here. This is second day of September, and we have a big old chestnut oak acorn that's fallen, and our deer will eat chestnut oaks, although it's probably not the preferred oak for them to eat. And so this is where, when I'm looking for ginseng, this is where I find it. And I don't find where we live. We find a little bit of ginseng, but we don't sell it. We pick it or dig it for our own use. And so I've walked right up on, this is a small ginseng plant right here. Let you see that. This is not a really good sample of a ginseng. I'm not going to dig this one, it's pretty small. But usually, okay, so usually when you find one ginseng plant, typically you'll find more because they seem to grow in like colonies. They seem to grow, you'll find a bunch of, let's say a bunch together. It might be nothing but a half a dozen, but you'll usually find more than one in a place. Now I have found some singles out in places, but like I found this one, and then there's one just right down here. We'll go down there and look at that one. So the reason I show you these other plants, what I have found, when you get on the correct slope, if you start running into wild yam and cohosh and a lot of wild ginger, which it's all over the place right here too. Alright, so here's the root that I just dug. And there's, they say not to wash it in running water because somehow or another it washes some of the medicinal values. And if you look this up online, you'll see that there's about 15 health benefits to taking ginseng on a regular basis. And I've been digging ginseng root for the last 10 or 12 years and taking it on some kind of regular basis. So there's a way to, you can dry this in a dehydrator, and then you can also cut it up into small pieces after you dry it, and you can run it through a coffee grinder or something, some kind of grinder, and powder it. And then you can buy the little gel caps at the herb store or online, and you can fill those gel caps up with ginseng powder and take it that way. Or you might just be one of those like me. I'll keep some green root on hand for a few months after I dig it, and then I'll just pull a green root out, a piece of green root. Underneath the green root, it's kind of got a little bitter taste, but it's got a lot of benefits, so it's worth the, putting up with the bitter taste. So it's just another example of how the Lord God Creator has given us medicine right here all around us, and for the most part it goes ignored and untouched. I mean, the woods here in the southern Appalachians, the woods are filled with medicines that we can put into our bodies to help build our immune systems and fight off infections and stuff like that, and cancers and diseases, if we'll just listen, pay attention. Let's go find some more ginseng.